All right, so I normally don't make videos like this. Shout out to Button Check. I thought this video was really good. I've been subscribed for a long time, but this is the absolute dumbest Twitter take that I've seen in the FGC recently, and I was like, let's talk about it. All right, so as you can see, this guy says the reason why there hasn't been black characters revealed in Tekken is because Tekken are racist.
Tekken are racist and don't care about black characters or dark-skinned people. So it's going to be a while until the real fighters come out instead of these white Latins and Asians.
Even though this game was, you know, created in Japan, right? Created in Japan, you're upset because there's not that many black-skinned people or dark-skinned people, which is totally understandable. You want more black representation in the fighting game. But to outright call this gaming company racist, by the way, this company's been around for like, what, 20 years or something like that, right? Tekken 1 came out on the PS1 a long time ago, right? So yeah, has there been a lot of black characters? No, right? There hasn't been a lot of black characters, but to outright just say they are racist, and they have already announced 2 black characters in the game, one being Leroy and one being Raven, and Raven was announced in Tekken in like Tekken 4, right? But this moron, let's just be real, this person is a moron, constantly moves the goalpost. Every time we talk about the actual black characters that have been shown, they say delete Leroy from the game. He should have been DLC. I thought your take was we need more black representation. Now you're saying delete Leroy because what? He's not fun or he's OP.
Existed. He responds again saying, "Bro, I don't care about these black characters. I'm asking about Bruce and Armor King.
So why didn't you just say that instead of saying they're racist? Why don't you say?" Why didn't Tekken show off Bruce or Armor King already? It's been 10 years. Why didn't you just say that instead of outright just saying they're racist when you have no actual proof besides your head being up your own butt?
Have you been the past 10 years? But others respond back to that saying, damn, this man said new, Raven been around forever. Is Armor King even black?
Right, so is Armor King even black? Now, Armor King, we don't know what his face is. All we have is a torso and some arms, right? You could easily say, well, of course he's a black character. Look, but we don't know that. He might be Hispanic. He might be Dominican. If you look up dark skin Mexican, because I typed this in because I saw this earlier, there are dark-skinned Mexicans. There are people that are dark-skinned that aren't black. They just look black, right? Dominicans say they're not black, even though they look black. But they say, a lot of them say themselves, they're not black, they're Dominican, whatever the fuck that means.
Saying, y'all are, if you think Armor King is actually Hispanic, no Mexican is that dark.
Fucking Ernesto, bro. Shout out to Ernesto, man. This guy's hilarious. Hey, y'all need to get him to 60,000 subscribers, bro. He's been working his ass off for like the last 3 years or so.
Acknowledge a black character when you see one.
3 or 4 years, honestly.
You don't care about
3 or 4 or 5 years.
At DrewBpie responds to that saying, dear customer, have you tried?
Yeah. Okay, so they flamed this guy real quick. We're going to skip past this flaming. We're going to talk about Harada. So this is the guy that created Tekken 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
And respond
20 years ago. It gets deeper. There's a reason why I'm making this video.
Anything that way and it'll pass, you are mistaken.
Wrong.
Leroy and Raven will kick your ass.
True.
This is my first time reading, or bear with me, y'all. Come to think of it, there are no Japanese characters in American dramas and movies that I love, but I have never felt discriminated against because of it. What do you think is the crucial difference between you and me? I'm sure you don't understand. You are not logical at all, and you are simply a delusional person who doesn't even realize that even if it were an emotional argument,
it doesn't make sense, which is true. The whole context is Tekken is racist because they don't have black characters. That is what this person says. This is a paraphrase, right? You could go back and see it for yourself. That is the whole context of this argument. Then it gets into a new argument, which frankly doesn't matter, but let's go ahead and tackle it anyway, because I love these Twitter people that think they're so smart and they know everything when they really know nothing, and they're just talking about social justice causes like they're gonna save the fucking day by complaining on an app that nobody really cares about. Let's continue.
And of course, that FG Gators, especially
we're gonna fast forward.
Raven, who is literally black. Underneath that, you can say, this is not black enough for him. Just knew it would be the coolest thing in the Tekken world. In terms of design, fight style, and personality, this is the first thing that mattered. This is the most important point, don't you think?
This is Harada talking about how cool Leroy is. He's like, I'm gonna make a cool character. Leroy Smith is what he came up with.
And of course, you're gonna get FGC reacting to that, agreeing with that. But just when you thought it might be over, get your damn submarines ready, because it goes deeper, right? Somebody by the name of Foxy Jezebel responded
Watch this
back,
shit.
not agreeing with her.
Watch
Right here
this.
saying, this
I'm about
take
to
is
destroy
not
this
logical.
take. Watch.
It flies in the face of numerous studies that have shown the importance of diversity in the media we consume.
I agree.
Harada-san, your sole experience doesn't refute established sociological study, i.e. the reality of anti-blackness being reflected in the media creation.
I agree.
Art reflects reality, and no one is exempt from their internal bias being within the media they create.
True. I agree. Foxy Jezebel, I 100% agree with what you're saying. But what the hell does that have to do with anything that we're talking about in Tekken? The original issue is Tekken is racist because black characters are not in the game. There are black characters in the game. Could there be more black representation in Tekken? Yes, I had a conversation with my father on this whole issue many, many years ago in Tekken 6 when I was playing the game, and he said, where are the black characters at? And I showed him Eddie Gordo. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, are there any more black characters? I showed him Raven. And he was like, oh, are there any more? He wants more black representation, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being pro-black. Hell yeah, pro-black, baby, right? But to purposely act like this company or the game Tekken, a martial arts game, by the way, that talks about fucking demons and the bloodline of the Kazama and Mishima family fighting each other and literally creating World War III, while there's also pandas and bears and dinosaurs that come back from extinction that have boxing gloves and fight kangaroos that also have boxing gloves that can fight robots, right? Obviously, there's a point where this talk about realism in real life, there's no black people in the game, just does not matter. You literally are playing a game where the world is getting destroyed. And all you care about is, why is there no black characters in the game when there are a couple black characters in the game? Should there be more black characters in the game? Sure. Could there be more white characters in the game? Sure. Could there be more Chinese characters in the game that aren't just martial law? Sure. And Lin Xiaoyu? Sure. Could there be more Korean representation besides Baek Do-san and Ha-rong? Sure. Could there be more Thai representation besides Fa Kum-rong? Sure. And Bruce, who is using Muay Thai as his martial arts. The black guy is using Muay Thai as his martial arts, right? Instead of having a Thai person doing that, right? You see what I'm saying? Where we could just pull strairs and pluck hairs and do this and that. But at the end of the day, bro, it does not matter. It doesn't. And even if you want to argue this, then you're lying. Because let's say, okay, so I agree with your take. If numerous studies have showed importance of diversity in media we consume, I agree. But to purposely add 15 extra black or 3 or 4 or 5 extra black characters, right? So imagine we have 5 characters that are coming out and all we do is make them black. That's not going to change the reality of the world that we live in, right? The world that we live in is white people, even though they're like really the minority when it comes to America, right? America, white people are the minority. They hold like the majority of everything, right? Because in history, white people took over a lot of shit. You can look at Great Britain. You can look at France. You can look at all these other countries that have colonized other countries. And it's just white people taking shit, right? So why are you surprised when you see the game has less colored people in it? But it doesn't even have that many white people in it. I would, look, I don't even know, but I would bet my money there have been more Asians in Tekken as a whole than white people. I would put my money on it. I would put a lot of money on it, actually. Playable characters, there are more Asian playable characters in all of Tekken than white people. You don't see any white people bitching. There are more Asians in Tekken than black people. Yeah, here we go. We got black people bitching, bro. You make us look bad. I'm not gonna lie. Not Jazzy, the other idiot. Bro, you make us look bad, bro. You make us look really fucking bad. Whenever black people claim stuff is racist when it's not because you want some attention or you want your way, you make all of us look bad. You make me look bad. That's why my black ass has to sit here and talk about this. Bro, it's 11 in the morning. I should be outside jogging right now, hanging out. I live in Asia, by the way. Why the fuck, like, bro, I am successful. Yeah, I have to get off of what I'm doing to address this because If I don't, who will? Jezebel over here on Twitter talking about actual issues, but when it comes to this fighting game that she probably knows nothing about. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Or maybe she does, maybe she doesn't, right? I don't care about her knowledge of the game. But her to actually come in here and bring statistics and stuff shows that we are not aware of what's actually going on. Because the whole argument was Tekken is racist, when in fact it's not. And like, yes, Foxy, I agree. We do need more representation in media. Yes, we do. But the answer is not make every character black or just add extra black characters. The issue comes from the black characters we have maybe don't have enough development, which I don't even think is true because Bruce's character is pretty developed. Is it perfect? No. Also, he's been gone a long time. Armor King, we're still trying to figure out who's in that grave, right? We have no idea what's going on with that, right? But it's a fighting game. The narrative, let's be honest, in fighting games, narrative hasn't been a key factor, except for maybe in Tekken. Mortal Kombat used to care about its story, and then it keeps rebooting it every other 5 years. They change it for some reason. Street Fighter started caring about their story, but they don't go past anything past Street Fighter 3. Like, bro, story-wise, fighting games haven't moved. So if they haven't moved their story, what makes you think they're going to focus on new black characters? Make it make sense, y'all. Let's continue this video. Let's make it make sense.
Trying to use your singular experience to dismiss justified concern over the lack of black characters within the 30 years your IP has existed
30
is
years.
nonsensical, tone-deaf, and pernicious. It also...
See, and this is the bullshit because his game is not about black people. This is your ego. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Justified concerns over black characters 30 years. Like, it's like yeah, Harada is the guy that comes up with ideas. He came up with the idea of Leroy Smith, one of the coolest black characters in gaming. And that's not enough. Why? Because there's not 5 other fucking Leroys. Do you see the bullshit? So if you really got an issue with black representation, Foxy, and I say this to all of you Twitter fucking justice warriors, all of you Foxy Jezebels out there that want to save the world and help black representation, get off Twitter and make something. Make something in media. Make some music. Make some games. Make some art. Make some TV shows. Make some movies. Why don't you do that? Oh, we're held down by oppression. This and that. Bro, anybody can make it. Anybody can fucking make it, bro. If I can make it, anybody can make it, bro. You know what it is? You got to think outside the box, bro. That's all it is. School's not going to teach you how to make it. The street's not going to teach you how to make it. Your friends and family is not going to teach you how to make it. All of those things are what teaches you how to make it. But you're so distracted with there's not enough black characters in Tekken that you don't realize how big of a loser you actually are. Let's keep it real. If you're really fighting for the justice of black people on Twitter and not in the streets, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? I fight for the justice of black people all the time when my black ass walks outside and I act like a decent human being and I talk to people. I smile at them. I shake their hand. I say, Swati Krap, how are you? I say Kapum Krap whenever they give me something. Kapuna Krap whenever it's something really generous, right? I make black people look good by being a nice black person, by being just a nice person, right? Because I understand whenever I'm outside, people don't just see me, KhunShawn, they see black American. And then they go off of that. My Chinese neighbors, they see black American. So I make sure I go out of my way, even though I don't have to just say good morning whenever I'm walking past them. When's the last time you said good morning to your neighbor? When's the last time you talked to your neighbor and actually talk, not just, hey, how's it going? Good? Okay. Like, when have you sat in for a 1 hour conversation with your neighbor outside? Let me know whenever you do that, because I do it all the time. I'm about to go do it. My neighbors are British and Thai. We sit and we talk, which is what I'm about to do. This video's done. I ain't got no more talking.
Bias,
let's try and wrap this shit up.
Racism towards black people remains a global phenomenon, not just regulated to the U.S. Damn. Okay. How y'all feeling about that perspective? Definitely going deeper, right? But Harada's not.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because yes. Does it suck? Yes, but what does that have to do with our original statement? Tekken is racist. This is why I'm making the video. What is that? What does any of that have to do? What is that? What does any of that have to do with Tekken is racist?
That as well, right? Tagging her, right? Saying you, Foxy Jezebel, said the lack of black characters within the 30 years your IP has existed. Why do you say so clearly what is not true? Why don't you do a little more research before you say it? It's very tiring. At least a little Google search would help me understand. And then, of course, that FGC is reacting. I mean, obviously, you can see there's some deep perspectives right there. But I would say from what I'm seeing,
I don't even think Tekken's been around 30 years, bro. I think it's been like 20 something.
Right?
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's there.
King actually being black.
He's probably mixed, bro.
The dark point of view. Do you think there's a lack? Now, I will say that, you know, as far as like where they're coming from, I almost want to say like,
let's talk about the game. Exactly. Let's talk about the fucking game. Because at the end of the day, bro, that's all that matters. Shout out to Ernesto. Shout out to Button Check. Dope video. Jezebel, I see what you're doing, sister. You need to go outside and do that and not just Twitter finger. The other guy, you're an idiot. Wait for the game to come out and you can play as Bruce and I'm gonna beat your ass with my Brian. See you later. Bye.